Greetings. This is Scholar Saunders Singh. What's current? We got some issues with Jayceon Taylor. Jayceon Taylor. He is officially going to be paying out money through his household. He's in a settlement of $7 million against a female, her name Priscilla Rainey, I think her name is, and he's going to lose his house. But he said a year ago, he says, I lose my house. All right, take my house. I can get another one. But he said he wasn't going to pay her. And at the same time, according to Hip Hop DX, he's been paying her $400,000 out of his musical residuals, out of his residuals for his music. So I'm just wondering, does he really care how much money he's giving over? Does it matter that he's losing his house in Calabasas? You guys tell me. Let me know. Let me find out. Let me see what the game, Jayceon the Game Taylor, is really about that life. Because you can say whatever you want to say, but when it really happens, it's something different. Because he says through a holding company he has equity in that owns the house allegedly, but he didn't show up in court. When you don't show up in court, it's an automatic. It's a default. It's like it goes straight to her because it was originally about $1 million, $1 million point something or something, or to $3 million or something like that. And then she had punitive damages up to about $6 million. So it was the original $1 million for the house, close to $1 million for the house, or a little over that. And definitely with the amount of money that is in the equity within the house. And like the game said, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's not showing any kind of, emotion or anything like that, but he could just be showing that. He could just be showing it. I see you, King Hazy. Salute to you, sir. Salute to you. Peace up. He always says, yo, Sky, peace up. Peace up to you, King Hazy. I appreciate you. Make sure you bring 2 or 3 people in so they can pay me. I'm not going to hit you up for money, but I want the new people to come in and pay a entrance fee for being a part of the Scholar Saunders Singh experience. So I mean, this is just a short story. It's not even that it has to be elongated, but I just wanted to extrapolate and explain. He has had various, criminal and legal run-ins and different things like that over the years, stretching all the way back to I think 2004 maybe or something like that. It goes way back, and he said he'll never pay this woman a dime, but according to reports, he's been paying her at least $400,000, and that's nothing compared to what he has. He's probably worth $10 to $15 million or something like that, or maybe more. Who knows? You can't really go by the internet. Don't go to Gorilla Finding or whatever it's called. The net worth pages. They're all, made up. It's all concocted. You can't really go by them. But yeah. So Game is definitely on his. He's on his square. He's hanging 10 toes down on the surface, all in front of cameras, in front of the lights and the circus and everything going on. He's saying that he's not going to be paying this woman anymore. I guess quote. Put an asterisk next to that. He's not going to be paying her anything more. But the house just got seized. They just took his house. They just forced him out of his house. In Calabasas, California, one of the most prime real estate places on the planet, on Earth. Probably, in the hundreds of billions of dollars, maybe even trillions of dollars worth of land. That's available in that region, in that area. Game is, he's seriously fallen off. He's not, the spring chicken he used to be. He's not making like hit records. that are like, you know, hitting. Oh yeah, that's a factor. You know, he's a factor. He's somewhat, you know, sort of. If they're doing a news item about him, he's somewhat sort of kind of relevant, but he's not really a factor like he once was. He's not really that factor. What's making him so, you know, relevant is all these legal issues he's had. He's had multiple legal issues going back in his past. I mean, I can just name a few. Let me see. Just give me a moment. I can rattle off a few. I'm looking for right now. Going back to 2005, assault lawsuit. Game, Snoop Dogg, and the Dog Pound were sued for assaulting a fan on stage at a May 2005 concert at the White River Amphitheater in Auburn, Washington. On May 11, 2007, Game was arrested at his home, reportedly in connection with an incident at a basketball game in South Los Angeles in February 2007. He is alleged to have threatened a person with a gun. 2011, banishment from Canada. He can't even go to Canada no more. He can't go to Canada. In 2011, Game was refused entry to Canada for alleged gang ties in Los Angeles. I'm telling you, gangs, if you want to go in a gang, go to the military. Go to the police force. Those are the biggest gangs in the world. The military and the police force. Those are the gangs that you want to join. Concert organizer said he was associated with the Bloods. We all know that's an obvious thing. He's obviously associated with the Bloods, but they just figured that out. 40 Glock assault and lawsuit. Standoff with Los Angeles police in 2014. 2016 and 2000. Yeah, Priscilla Rainey, sexual assault lawsuit and liability. So they're saying, like, you know, she's claiming that, you know, from this reality show that they had, it's called She Got Game, that they believe to be on camera. The lawsuit further alleged that Game showed up to the date highly intoxicated on alcohol and drugs, which was typical, and sexually assaulted the plaintiff, Rainey, on several occasions that night. This included him forcibly reaching his hand inside her dress to rub her bare vajayjay and booty. $2024. This is weird. I don't even understand this. I don't really get that. But I'm just giving you examples of what he has been involved in over this past 2 decades, close to. Game is just. He reminds me of like the inverse of Ye. He's like, he'll grab attention. He'll get the idea of somebody being in, you know, more famous for their antics and things that go on in their life rather than their work, which is always a problem for me. Yeah, people like Jay-Z, it's always his work. You know, you say he's the greatest rapper or whatever. He's not my favorite rapper. My favorite rapper is Master P. But I recognize him as probably the greatest rapper of all time. What does that mean? Who knows? Nobody likes to be a rapper, even rappers. They detest it. I'm not a rapper. I already told you I'm not a rapper. That's Hov right there. He said I'm not a rapper. Then he says I'm the greatest rapper of all time. Like, it's that double speak. So how about double talk? Going back and forth. So you know, it just it's just a strange position to be in, to be Jayceon the Game Taylor. I know he had some issues with Mr. Star Terrain, but I'm not going to bring that into it. I'm not going to bring him up too much. I'm just going to say he had some issues with him. It's the only time I'm going to mention him. He had some time to, you know, consider, because this is over a year ago that he said, you know, if they take my house, they take my house, and it's like $7 million in damages, like I said, punitive damages is $6 million. The house cost just a little over $3 million. But he bought it at $1 million, so it accrued interest over time. So that's one of the benefits of home ownership, or taking advantage of the real estate opportunities that are so abundant within the California system. Game, though, when's the last time he had an album? Let's see when's the last time he had an album. When was his last album? His last album was Drillmatic, Heart versus Mind, and it came out in 2022, and it actually was pretty good, I think. I heard this, and I think it was actually pretty banging. I think it was pretty banging. I'm trying to remember, the songs. Maybe it wasn't that banging if I can't remember any of the songs. But when it came out, I first heard it, and I was like, all right, this is, he's making a comeback. But he hasn't produced much music in over 3 years. So maybe he's doing, concerts. He's probably touring. He's probably, writing maybe for some people, ghostwriting. Who knows? But he's got money. He's probably got a few million. I don't know. You can't tell. Like I said, Forbes can't tell. Nobody can tell. Forbes is the most formidable way to tell somebody's net worth. But even then, you really can't tell. You really can't, find out whether it's legitimate or not. You can't tell. You can't confirm and verify whether the net worth is actually true or not. But with the Game, he hasn't stated his net worth, but he's saying like he's okay. He's saying that this is a year ago, of course. It just got out a year ago. He said that, I woke up in my house, and if they take it, then they take it. I'm not materialistic. See, this is the question I have to ask myself too. What is materialism? What is the material? What is material? Houses, cars, jewelry, all of that is ideas, really. In physical form. They had to be thought of. They had to be considered. They had to be planned. They had to be engineered, or architect had to be involved in, and a jeweler had to be involved in. Your clothes, what we wear, all this has to be of the mind. Everything has to be thought out. This hat, my watch, my ring, all that had to be thought out. Are they material? Yes, they're in the physical world. They have atoms. They have physical properties. But they came from the mind. They came from thought. Even if you have a pristine forest and you just want to own that forest, you want to own thousands of acres of forest. Like, I think what should happen with all the national parks, they should all be sold to private investors so they can be turned into whatever they want. They can just leave them pristine and don't touch it, and completely not touched by anybody. Or you can have it so people that really want to better know the reality of property rights, you can say, look, I want this to be unblemished. Nobody touches it. No amusement parks, no parking garages, no parking lots, nothing like that. Oh, did all this ain't to go? But you don't know what you got till it's gone. Tear down paradise to build up a parking lot. Ooh, bop, 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 bop. Hopefully I won't get a copyright strike for saying that part of the song. Who was that? Joni Mitchell that had that song? I don't know. But yeah, so it could, you may not even touch the wooded areas or the lakes and streams and rivers. You just own the tract of land. You just own the acreage, and you can keep that completely clean, completely untouched. Or you can build upon it. You can put condominiums, or you can put mansions or something like that around it. So that's just an example. So that's what it gets down to. That's why I'm doing these shows on business, because some niggas on YouTube want to do shows about gossip. Did you hear he was with her? And I'm talking about legal proceedings, lawsuits, stuff like that, business deals in the industry and stuff like that. If you want to do gossip, that's cool. You do your thing. Do your thing, girl. Do your gossip, whatever you want to do. But I try to keep it on law, business, the art of music, the art of different entries that we have, and I just try to keep it funky on that level. So I think that with the power of the system to say, hey, you didn't show up in court, goes to her, house goes to her. And with Jayceon Taylor's nonchalant kind of like, so what? I'll get another house. He's displaying that he has enough money to show. He's showing that he has enough money to stay within the bounds of living. He has a living space. He's not going to be he's not going to be in a van down by the river or a van on the side of the street like Sly Stone. I don't know. Is Sly Stone still in a van? Last time I checked, he was still in a van somewhere in I think in California. Let me make sure. Yep, in a van in LA. Funk legend Sly Stone, homeless and living in a van in LA. This is over 10 years ago. Wow. This is 14 years ago. This is amazing. He also reportedly spent his time recording music on a laptop. This is sad. But is it sad? Could that be the wave? Could that be the wave to just, have a van, a very simple life? You're homeless, you don't have any house. Like Jayceon Taylor about to not have a house. And you can enjoy your life. You can downsize. That's some serious downsizing, but you can enjoy life still. Maybe that could be a wave. That could be like the new thing. I always marveled at the small houses, and the micro housing that people have, micro apartments. There's this young girl. She pays like $1,500 a month or something like that from her apartment in New York, and it's like you have to crawl. You have to go through a ladder system. You have to go up to a bunk bed, and then her bathroom is her kitchen or something. It was crazy, but it works for her, And then there's people with those really tiny houses that cost like $3,000 or something like that. It costs like $3,000 to $10,000 or something, $3,000 to $15,000, and you can just live in it. And you're brushing your teeth and you're making toast at the same time. Like it's crazy, but if it works, hey, it's pragmatism, right? But it's more. It's not like it's immoral. It's just I'm just saying it works, for them, But yeah, Jayceon Taylor. I was going to say it's not looking good for him, but he's like, I don't care. I really don't care. I could give two number twos about the way that they're going to take my house. They're going to seize my property. I really could care less. I don't mind. He's telling it like it is. I at least give him the credit that he's standing on 10 toes down in front of the camera. I don't know if he's like, oh, I don't know if he's shedding tears, for his house. I'm not sure if he's feeling some type way about him not being able to live in the same Calabasas residence, ever again. And then this woman, he claims to have never violated her. Claims to have never violated her, but didn't show up in court. Interesting. Why didn't he show up in court? It's very simple. Throw on a suit. Make sure your hair is braided up tight. Wear some glasses. And show yourself to be approved. Begin by showing that you are a gentleman and that you are a person that is of proper standing within the community within the populace at large. Make sure that you know what you're doing. I mean, it just seems like Jayceon Taylor has, so many different occasions where he became like a pariah. He can't even go to Canada because his obvious connections with the Bloods. They're like, well, maybe he's part of the Bloods. We're not sure, but seems like we could be criminally affiliated. But that, like I said, with that's easy. Join the military, join the police force. Those are the biggest gangs in the world. Got more power, got more might than any gang you can even think of. Just the United States Navy, and I'm a part of the Navy. I'm a Marine, so just the United States Navy, the power of the ships out to sea. That fleet is amazing. So, but Jayceon Taylor, the Blood. And this is why it's interesting because he admired and really was gunning for the late great Nipsey Hussle. I didn't mean that was kind of, I shouldn't have said gunning. Terrible addiction. Sorry about that. But I retract that. He was an admirer of Nipsey Hussle. He vouched for him. He definitely showed him the way within the hip hop world. And it's just a real shame that Nipsey Hussle had to go out like that. And he was just about to like break. He never even got the chance to see his album go platinum or win a Grammy. The marathon continues. But will the marathon continue with Jayceon Taylor? Will this be the final nail in the coffin? I doubt it, but it could possibly be. It could possibly be the final nail in the coffin. To wrap up his career, wrap up his, his finances, because like I said, she saw $7 million. $7 million. And that seems like, crackers. That sounds like, chips and peanuts. Nothing to, somebody like Jayceon Taylor probably. But it just shows precedence. It just shows that she was serious, that she's gonna recoup from whatever, allegations that were brought against him, whatever was, said to have happened, which he vehemently declines, or denies, he vehemently shows that he is part of a bigger picture when it comes to displaying, his life and what his worth and whatever he wants to do with his music. I mean, like I said, it's been 3 years since he had an album. That's one of the reasons why Jay-Z is heralded as the greatest rapper of all time, because of the fact that he was 8 albums deep for 7 summers, 96 to 2003. 8 albums, and they were all quality. Some lesser, some greater, but they were all quality. But Jayceon Taylor is not even near, Jay-Z's league. He's definitely not in that. And I don't think he wants to be. I don't think he has to be. He doesn't have to be. He doesn't have to be. But I think that with everything that Jayceon Taylor has done, I mean, I can only think of like a few songs of his that were, pretty strong. I'm thinking about one thing about Why You Hate the Game. That's probably my favorite Game song. It's with Nas and Ambrosius, I think her name is, from Flowetry. I like this song. Just Blaze is on there. It's like 9 minutes long. It's a great song though. I like that song. But it's all down to the fact that he really doesn't care. He doesn't give a damn. He doesn't really care. And that is one thing that has to be considered in all of this. Every piece of it has to be considered. Has to be considered. So if you look at the facts, just look at the reality. I mean, somebody lying. Somebody lying. Either it's Jayceon Taylor or Priscilla Rainey. Somebody lying. Because she's saying he did it. He's saying he didn't. That's why we have a court system. And I have 0 viewers right now. 0 viewers. I love it. But now it's back to 2. Okay. But yeah, so somebody lying. Somebody lying. This was so interesting about court cases. Like, well, he did it. She did it. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. Okay. But somebody had to have done something. That's a fact. That's a fact. If Jayceon Taylor, if he takes his time on this, he might be all right. Because like I said, he doesn't really. He's showing that he doesn't care. This is from a Vlad TV interview over a year ago when LeBron James got to 40,000 points. This is a long time ago. This is close. I think it was in 2023, and then it was like later on, and down over the summer or something, or, right before the summer or something like that. Can't remember exactly when, but yeah. So Game is showing himself to be a very nuanced individual, and when I say that, I mean he's right with himself. He's very he's centered. He's very centered. He knows what he's talking about. Or he shows himself to be knows what he's talking about. He doesn't have any he's not arguing and rah. He's just laid back. Like, I woke up in this house. If they take it, they take it. I'm not materialistic. It goes on like that. But this Priscilla Rainey woman, this character, she's adamant. She was adamant about her, and I think the court ruled in her favor because of the fact that he simply just didn't show up for court. Throw on a tie, put on a shirt, put on a jacket, go to court. Speak to the judge. The judge might be lenient on you somehow. You may not have to give up the house, but like again, he don't care. He don't care if you take the house. I don't know why I use a country voice right there, but he doesn't mind. He buy another house. That's what he said. So that means he's got money. He's got money from music, from touring, from all these different things, probably from the real reality TV show, which I didn't even know existed. I am not a reality TV show head. I was watching, what was the hip hop game with God damn it. Hold on, let me make sure I got her name. Hold on. I gotta make sure I have her name. Hold on. I know I love her, but I always forget her name. I'm looking for it right now. Looking for it right now. Just give me a minute. I always forget her name. I have to make sure I say her name. Kim Osario. I was about to call her Rosario Dawson. Kim Osario. She was on that show. I mentioned him before. Mr. Terrain was on that show, and it just went nowhere. It didn't go anywhere. I was trying to watch it, and I was like, all right, this is cool. This is whatever. But I tried to watch Atlanta. I tried to watch Real Housewives, New Jersey. The only real reality TV shows I really liked were The Real World and Road Rules Challenge. Back in that 25 years ago, this is how old I am. Challenge 2000, so 25 years, That's what it is. But yeah, Kim Lazario, she's gorgeous. She's great. She's intelligent. I love her. But that show it just went into the tank. It didn't go anywhere. But anyway, Jayceon Taylor, not caring, not giving up an inch, not caring, on the camera. He might be shedding a tear, behind the a bathroom stall or something like that. I don't know, but he's on camera. He's very cool, nonchalant, not caring, not giving an F. You know what? But he's definitely showing that he's still got something in the tank. Like I said, the 2022 album, which I forgot the name of already. Drillmatic, Heart versus Mind. Yeah, that was pretty fire. It was fire. I can't remember a single song off of it, but I heard it one time, I think. I said, okay, Game's got it. Game's got it. He's within, the constraints of hip hop. He's within the idealism. He's doing the damn thing. So I gotta appreciate that. I gotta show him respect on that level. But he's pretty tumultuous with his legal bindings and things like that, saying he wants to beat up people and fight people on air, on radio. Certain people, I'll just say certain people went to revolt. They did, go above Jayceon Taylor. Forget going to Jayceon Taylor. Go to revolt and get them to, to address the issue. I'm not sure where the legal proceedings are with that particular case, but it's probably somewhere within, the bounds of settling out of court, somewhere like that. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not too sure what happened. It's special to me because it shows, the longevity of Jayceon Taylor. At least he's in the news. He's still relevant, but not much of a factor. See, Jay-Z is another example I can give you an example of. He's relevant and a factor. He's playing his cards with the NFL. When you're on that level, that means you have made it to an upper echelon that nobody can touch. Nobody's touching that. And if you had Ye, you can consider him before he really went off the deep end. He ran for president. What hip hop star can say they ran for president? That's hip hop history right there. I mean, he had like 30,000 votes or something stupid. I don't know how many he had exactly, but it was like 30,000, I think, or something like that. It was real crazy. And I think those were just trolling. People were just, I'm gonna pick Ye. Let me pick Ye for president. They're just trolling. They weren't very sincere. Probably a lot of people were trolling when they picked Trump. Oh, Trump's up again. Man, let me pick this guy. I picked him for the first time and the second time. Let me give him the third time. So, Jayceon Taylor, the one who doesn't care. Ye don't care about black people. Facts, Son to Son 90. Thank you for making sure that the chat was it was dry. The last person that said something was King Hazy, and that was 32 minutes ago. Thank you very much, Son of the Sun. Appreciate you, sir. Salute. I'm not gonna type in because it's too crazy, but yeah, Ye don't care about black people. He doesn't. He doesn't care about any people. He doesn't care about anyone. He doesn't care about himself. A lot of people say, "Oh, he's just so selfish. He only cares about himself. He only cares about what he's doing." No, if he cared about himself, he wouldn't treat people that way. Did you see the case I sent about the MacBook? I did not. To be honest, I did not. Send it to my email. Send it to my email. I'll put that in. Send it to this one right here. Because sometimes the link breaks on YouTube. I don't know why. Hey, Holly in the building. Holla. Everybody say holla at Holly. Salute to Holly. Salute Holly. So if you're not up to speed, I'm talking about Jayceon the Game Taylor, and he's losing his household in Calabasas, California, one of the most prime real estate locations in all of the world. I would say it's worth up to 100 billion or close to $1 trillion worth of real estate that's down there in the valley in Southern California. Yeah, the game. Yes, the game. Yes. You're exactly right, Holly. the game. Yes, him, Jayceon Taylor. I've been calling him that for the show. But the game. He was with 50 Cent. He's a blood. He's got songs. He was cool with Nipsey. Hussle, I should say, the late great Nipsey Hussle. So the game deserves to lose it all. Son of the Sun's 90s saying the game deserves to lose it all. Well, I just want to go by a court of law. The court of law said that he has to pay up $7 million because he had the $1 million is the house. That I can understand. They said the house is worth $3 million, but I saw it was worth $1 million something, and that the punitive damages were $6 million. So that adds up to about $7 million. Why are they taking his property? What did he do? Well, it's because of this lawsuit with this woman named Priscilla Rainey. She accused him of sexually assaulting her during the filming of one of the reality shows called She's Got Game. I never watched it. I think it was probably trash anyway. I don't like reality TV shows. If you do, that's fine. Like I said, I go back to Real World and the Challenge 2000 or something like that, and Road Rules. That's it. Real World and Road Rules. Those are the two reality shows I used to watch on MTV. Yes, you watched it exactly. He should have just married his baby mother. Well, I don't know if that would have helped. I mean, if he had married his baby mother and still had the sexual assault case, it probably wouldn't have been able to help him. Probably not. Yeah, Holly says I watched that. Yeah, we watched it. Yeah, I'm old. I'm going back. I'm an '80s baby, so I go back to, Road Rules Challenge 2000. That's 25 years ago. So, yeah, didn't know. That's fine. That's all right. That's why I'm here, Holly. I'm your channel for you to know all this hip hop mess, this hip hop nonsense. That's why I'm here. So, I think with Jayceon Taylor, aka the Game, he was a total cheeseball in there. Oh wow, okay, I did not even realize that. I mean, but what did they do? Did they have different, contests or challenges or something like that on the show, Holly? What did they do? What was the main draw? What kept the cameras rolling and the lights on? And what was the main draw? What did they have to do? Was it like the Bachelor? Did he have a Glock or something like that? Okay, yes. She says yes. Okay, they had challenges and contests. Okay. Instead of roses, he had a Glock 9mm. He had he had a 357. He had a 38 special or something like that. All context and girls fighting. Oh my God. Oh, surprise. What is that? I just don't understand that whole thing. The Real Housewives of New Jersey, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, all that, throwing glasses and stuff like that. Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop, New York. I tried watching them. They don't talk about anything of substance or anything, but I know it's for people. It's for people like professionals like Holly that just want to come home, put on, some food and then turn on the TV and watch, the nonsense and unfold, because she put in 8 to 12 hours worth of work and probably even more, knowing Holly. He has some cheesy catchphrase I need to come up with. It's like, "Are you in the game?" or something like that. Or something like that. Are you ready for gameplay or something probably? But yeah, it's for doctors, it's for lawyers, it's for business executives, it's for all these people that have high powered jobs and positions, and they just want to unwrap all that and just zone out and just crash out on people fighting and lifting up tables and throwing glasses and yelling at each other and stuff like that. That's what the whole point of the entertainment is. That's why there's so many shows like this that continue to be in existence. Yeah, because you have college graduates and homeowners and people like that that are really tied to these kind of shows. My dumb ass, I don't like them. I like films and TV shows. I love TV shows more than films right now because they're just so much more nuance and more depth to the show than most movies. Like the last one I saw was Sinners. If you go to my vocal.media, hold on, I'll put it in here because I'm self-promoting right now. Search. I'm looking for it right now. So go to vocal.media, search for What's a Metaphor. And if you have to, just add my name. Yeah. It was something stupid like that. Yeah. The game been a clown. Vocal.media, search for What's a Metaphor by yours truly, Skylar Saunders on Vocal. YouTube is Sky Saunders. And there's a story behind that, and I'll just take a moment to break that down why it's Sky Saunders. Hold on, let me see what Son of the Sun 90 says. And never forget, the game spent years just hanging around with Diddy before putting out any music. I did forget that. And speaking of Diddy, he started the pretrial yesterday. He started the jury selection yesterday. He was in the courtroom. He said that he was nervous. But I talked about that. You can go back to my show yesterday. I'm not going to talk about the show from yesterday. But I didn't remember him even being with Diddy like that. Was he at the white parties? Was he at the freak offs? Oh, I have a referral link. Let me see this. What is this? Okay, here's my referral link. That's my referral link. So, just in case you're wondering. But let me tell you about I'm breaking the game situation, but I'm gonna talk about my at Sky Saunders situation. The reason why I called it at Sky Saunders instead of Skylar Saunders is because of my favorite director, Wes Anderson. And I was gonna be a director when I was like, I don't know, 10 years ago. By this time, 12 years ago. Yeah, she got game. Okay, yeah, she got game. Yeah, that is pretty hilarious. But the Sky Saunders was like, I was like, his name, he doesn't go by Wesley, he goes by Wes. So I want to do Sky Saunders, SkySaunders. And it was like one of the first, it had to be one of the first accounts. It was I'm not trying to be like Soldier Boy, but it had to be one of the first accounts. It was back in 2006, and YouTube didn't come out till 2005. So that's the reason why I have at Sky Saunders, which you can use to tell other people to subscribe, because I know you both are already subscribed. Just tell somebody else, let them know that you there's a silly guy named Sky Saunders on the microphone. But I just wanted to tell you that right now. Okay. Jayceon Taylor doesn't care. He doesn't care that he has to give up his Calabasas household. He'll buy another house, he says. That's the beauty of this game. No pun intended. I didn't even expect to say that. I didn't want to. There was no pun. Sorry. That's the beauty of this system, this genre. You can eat off of it well, 2-3 times, the total what most people live on. in life. So, I mean, that's pretty extraordinary. So he's not even like a major performer right now. He's what is he doing? Shows in the in Los Angeles and around the areas. I don't think he has a national tour. I don't think he has an international tour. His album sales have pretty much slumped. They're not very strong, but he was able to pay her $400,000. He said he was going to give her red cent. I'm paraphrasing, but he said he wasn't going to pay her, but he paid her anyway. I don't know. Seems kind of goofy to me. So, what do we have here is Jayceon Taylor, showing a strong face, but behind every face, it's kind of like those. You remember those commercials with the depressed people? They had the happy face. It's like this, but behind the face, they're like this. That's the kind of that's what I think Jayceon Taylor is right now. I could be wrong, but I think that's where he is. Jayceon Taylor is he's showing himself to be somebody that is trying to fake the funk, as we used to say, or perpetrate the fraud. Holly said, I posted that story you sent me on my Facebook and encouraged people to go read it. And I think you really helped me out because my views went up. I appreciate that, Holly. Thank you for that. Which one was the one about the Soldier of the Sea? I can't remember. Is it the Soldier of the Sea one? I think I sent that to you. Maybe the Soldier of the Sea. I can't remember though. So I appreciate Holly. She's the truth. Definitely, everybody respect it. Son of the Sun 90, definitely respect Holly. She's Z Therapy, Holly Correnti. A wonderful Italian woman that can sing, that can, whip up any project, do things that she doesn't really want to do, but she doesn't see it as a sacrifice, so she does it anyway. I remember those days. She was like, I don't really want to do this, but I'm gonna do this because I love my job. I think she valued her job over any ideas of not being able to perform her duties or something like that. What she wanted to do. She valued her job over that. So that's always, she was always a real one for that. I appreciate that. And Holly, thank you. All right, so Jayceon Taylor. Jayceon Taylor is, he just, I mean, the guy, he talks tough. He says stuff that's real, super gangster. Yes, that's the one in the contest. Yes, exactly. Yep. Thank you. Respect, Holly. Thank you. Salute to Holly. And it's National Mental Health Awareness Month. That's for me. I'm the crazy guy. I have bipolar disorder. She definitely knew that. She helped me out, a lot of things. We went on a lot of trips. That's one thing. I just want to break from the game, Jayceon Taylor, just to go on a rant. Can I just rant here? I remember we went on trips. We went. These are mental patients. These are literal inpatients that went on trips that she continues to probably still engage with this. We went on trip. We went to lodges and different VFW homes, and we went to a talent show. We went to a talent show, for God's sakes. I mean, it was crazy. And what's messed up though, one of the guys in that was with us, he tried to run away. He tried to get away from the group, and we got locked down. And it's not that awful Tiffany from Flavor Flav, is it? No. Priscilla Rainey. This is a different female. Priscilla Rainey. Yeah, not from Flavor of Love. No, never that. This is Priscilla Rainey. But I was saying, this guy, he ran away from the group, and we were supposed to go back on the buses, and we were like, where is he? Where'd he go? He just ran away, and they locked down the trips. I wrote a handwritten letter to one of the staff members, and they're like, "Wow, okay, this is very interesting. This is very good. I enjoyed this. We're reinstating, the trips because I wrote some. I mean, it probably was something else. It's not just me, but it's probably more than that. But that was my experience. That's going back to 13 years ago. That's crazy. That is crazy talk. 13 years. I mean, it just seems this time just, the cliches. Time marches on. Time waits for no man. All that, comes together. But no, Holly, it was not Tiffany from Flavor of Love. It's Priscilla Rainey. That's the woman in question that is focused on what he Game is not caring about the house. He's got money. That's a beautiful thing. I think that's wonderful. He's not had a hit song that I can recount in years. He hasn't been talk of the town. He's not like a longevity kind of rapper. He's more like a relevant, come in the news, when your house is being seized kind of rapper. He's not really a factor. He's not really showing himself that he can maintain a proper standing within the hip hop genre. So I think it just boils down to the fact that he didn't show up for court. Throw on some slacks, throw on some shoes, throw on a shirt, throw on a jacket, a tie. Wear all that. It could be blood red if you wanted to. If you want everything red, your blood. And I still am trying to figure that out. 0 viewers right now, by the way. But I'm still trying to figure that out. The Bloods do respect the Crips. I think they came together in 1992 or 91. What was it? 91 or 92, when Rodney King got the stuffing knocked out of him, but the cops let him live. Whitey let him live. He was not killed. So Jayceon Taylor is, he's a marginal rapper. He's not like one of the greatest things I liked about his rapping skills is his history. He name drops everybody in his songs. He name drops Tupac. He name drops Biggie. He name drops Martin Luther King. Malcolm X, and so many others. Those are the main people that people associate with hip hop anyway. And the legendary status of hip hop, and they all caught slugs, to the mug. Even though two of them, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, were obviously higher level individuals rather than Biggie and Tupac. Even though they were great too, and especially Tupac, but they're not on the level of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Pardon me. Let me make sure that's correct. Now that's back to 2. I don't know who the 2 are. Is it Son the Sun 90 and Holly? We'll see. But I think with the power of the microphone, this powerful medium that we have on the internet, it's very. Oh my God. Really? Rodney King even wound up on a reality show before he died. Wow, yeah. I remember he died in the pool. He died in a pool accident. It just started raining. What movie is that from? I'll give it to you right now. Social Network. It's raining outside my house right now. He was on a Dr. Drew rehab show. Oh, okay. I thought he was like on a bachelorette style show or Real Housewives or Real House Husbands. But I could see him on Dr. Drew. I think he probably had some kind of drug he had some kind of battle with the bottle or some kind of drug dependency. Not 100% sure. You know more than I do, Holly. You know more than I. But yeah, so That just goes to show you that Jayceon Taylor has funds. He probably invested pretty smartly. He probably invested very well. He he knew exactly what he wanted from his and his ability to, finance his lifestyle. The game was Diddy Boy Toy. Wow. Give me a link. Throw me a link in the email I sent you. In the email that's in the live chat. Just scroll up and look for that email. The game was Diddy Boy Toy. I don't remember that. No, it was sad. It was very sad. Wow. That's unfortunate. What was it though, Holly? Did he have a drug dependency or alcoholism or something like that? What was the issue? It was very sad. Yeah, he didn't have a great life afterwards that I know of. I think he blew the money. I think he blew through the money. He settled for like $3 to $5 million or something. I'm just guessing. You guys are, oh, Scott, he didn't. It was more than that. It was less than that. I'm just saying how much I can look it up. Let me look it up. I'm looking it up right now. Rodney King, and see when he died. 2012, 13 years ago again. And that was in 1991. Okay. And the court case was 1992. He was arrested. Aftermath. Later life. I'm looking for everybody. Still looking for it. I can't find it. I'm not finding it, but it was probably a good settlement. He's an alcoholic after the whole beating. Wow, yeah. That's something that I will never understand, but I will always respect. The people that go through alcoholism, because I don't understand how it's like a thing of, that other people have had issues like this before. You know that for a fact. You understand that there have been decades, centuries, millennia of people being drunkards, being drunk. But you think that you're going to be able to fight the battle, the battle that is the bottle? I just don't. And same thing with drugs. It's like you think. What do you're not thinking. That's the thing. Maybe that's what I understand. You're not thinking. You're not thinking. You're feeling. You're emoting. Your feelings. Holly and I know firsthand mental illness, alcoholism, drug dependency, stuff like that. Okay. 3.8. That's it. Yeah. 3.8 mil. Just look. Thank you. Thank you, Holly. Appreciate that. But yeah, I've been drunk before. The times I've been drunk, I like being like the buzz. I like the buzz. Maybe that's the thing that they crave, the buzz, and they can't. Something in their mental capacity says, do a little more, do a little more, do a little more, and it just gets to a point where you're completely dependent upon it, and you're not able to function. That's the sad part, But the great thing is, though, there's people that rebound, have great lives, live extraordinary lives, despite the fact that they have, this dependence, this once dependency. So, I'm not a praying man. I'm an atheist. So I would say, salute to the people that are trying to get their life right. That's all I can say. And like Jayceon Taylor, I'm not waking up in a house of Calabasas either. But I do support and respect Son of the Sun 90 and Holly Correnti. I hope I say that right. Is it Corrente or Correnti? I have to see. She has to correct my dumb ass. But I appreciate y'all for coming in. Thank you for that. I've got 5 viewers right now. Most of all, throughout the day, I had it down to 0, so I appreciate you. And thank you for watching. And I will see you sometime, probably around this time tomorrow. Take care.